Hi, thanks for joining us here for Wellbeing Wednesday with myself, Debbie. How have we all been getting on? Have we been trying the little techniques we've put up? Remember, we're not going to get that change just because we want it to happen. We have to make it happen. So we're going to talk about resilience and we're going to talk about panic attacks and see what we can do to sort of lessen them and get us through that day. Now, looking after our well-being, it can really help with the pressure and then just reduce the impact of stress in our life. And come on, at the moment the stress levels are way up here with what we're having to deal with COVID and just the way the world is at the moment, I'm afraid. And resilience just isn't your ability to bounce back. It also helps us adapt life's challenges, and we've got a lot of challenges at the moment. And while we maintain that emotional well-being throughout doing these techniques. Now, think of looking after your emotional well-being like keeping fit. Okay, we want to keep fit. So we exercise, we watch what we're eating, and we give it every single thing we've got. So why should looking after our emotional well-being be any different from that? For me, I would say emotional well-being is way up at the top. We need to look after ourselves, we need to put ourselves first, and we need to adapt to the way that life's changing at the moment. If we can get through this in life, we can get through absolutely anything. We're a massively strong bunch of people. Look where we've got at the moment with the challenges that we've already faced. Now, if we want something different in life, we have to do something different. So let's look at that emotional well-being. And let's look at it as we are trying to keep fit, okay? We're keeping our mindset fit in a sense, and we need to take steps to achieve that. Now, it can be wee steps, it can be big steps, it's up to you. We're all different in how we do it, and we're all different with how fast we get there. Remember, tiny steps can make the biggest change in the end. So even if it's just a tiny little step of change that you're making for that day, make sure it's a step in the right direction. Practice being assertive, okay? Communication is key here. You need to communicate with people. I don't know how many relationships I've went through with people that have come into the office, and the biggest thing being is the communication. They don't communicate with each other. How does somebody know how you're feeling if you don't communicate? Now, communication again is the biggest key here to help maintain that healthy relationship. Don't be afraid to say no. If people are asking things of you and you're already stressed for that day and you say yes to do something, you're only putting yourself under that extreme pressure. We're allowed to say no, and I believe that you shouldn't have to explain yourself when you say no as well. People should understand that if you're saying no, you're saying it for a huge reason. It's because you don't feel emotionally fit that day to do that. So don't be afraid to say no to people. Don't put that extra pressure on yourself. Use relaxation techniques. There's lots of wee groups on here that can show us that. Practice your breathing, gentle breathing, nice and slow, in and out. Meditation is another really good thing to have. Activity, increase activity. We can go out more, we can walk more. Do it. Get up, get out and do it, okay? Stay away from things that's causing our emotional well-being to sort of dissipate and go down. Social media. For example, social media can be a huge part in creating that emotional well-being to not be good. We put on Facebook, Facebook we get a lot, and there's a lot on Facebook at the moment with just the way the world is about the COVID-19, about all the riotings, all the protests, the stresses in life. The news can also do it as well. Take yourself away from that. Take it away. Like, I don't know how many people have had to actually delete off my Facebook at the moment because I'm getting quite upset with the things that they're putting on. The biggest thing for me to change that is just to take myself a step away. Don't go onto it, or either just delete and move on. It's as easy as that. You can get stresses over feeling lonely, you can feel isolated, and again at the moment that is a big pressure that we've got with not being able to go to people's houses or not being able to go to our wee groups at Finding Your Feet, the wee amputees, but we've still got it online, so we still can push ourselves to make that communication so we don't feel that we're alone and we don't feel that we're isolated. So take that step forward into doing that as well. Make time to do it, make time for your friends, make time to be able to pick up that phone. We've still got the phone, we've still got Messenger, we can do video, chats with our friends and stuff. We're so lucky in this time and day and age that we have got technology that helps us do that. Join in the amputee sessions, laughing and smiling increases the serotonin levels that we've got in the endorphins, and it's all these wee happy chemicals that help us and make us much, much, much more relaxed in life. Laughing is a great thing. Laughing is amazing. Smiling is amazing. Get up and put a smile on your face. Get up and use these light box techniques that we talked about. Today I fight back, or today I make a change to myself. Use all these techniques. Watch a funny movie, something that's going to make you laugh. Increase those serotonin levels. What happens is we've got a chemical in us called cortisol, and when we get uptight and nervous and stressed, and we have that worry and fear and anxiety, that cortisol level creeps up, and we need to take that down again. So doing all these things, communicating with each other, talking to people, again, reach out. There's plenty of things on this page that we can use to help us, to make us put that push forward in life, in a sense, okay? We need to find some sort of balance in life. Sometimes of our jobs, especially at the moment with people that are still working at the moment, you've either got that stress with working because you're having to take on extra shifts, you've got the childcare to worry about, it can eat away at all of our energy, absolutely every single thing that we've got. We're worrying because we're not working and we're not making money and we can't make ends meet. The energy levels are going to go way, way, way down, and again, it's going to increase that bad chemical that we've got in us called cortisol. We need to take that away back down again and increase the endorphins and the serotonin levels that we've got. Increasing that and keeping us happy and keeping us smiling and keeping us going on in life can help with our emotional well-being. Take 10 minutes every few hours. 10 minutes, it's not a lot, just to simply focus on our breathing. Go away from things. If you're in the house, all the time, 24/7 at the moment, go into another room or something. Take that time to breathe and look at yourself and just relax. Asking for help where it's needed. Let's spread the pressures that we've got and ask other people for help. And I think you would be surprised at the amount of people out there that's actually there for you. But how do they know that you're feeling like that unless you ask for that help? It's not a bad thing to ask for help. It shows actually strength to be able to say, right, okay, see, at the moment I'm not coping. Can you give me an extra wee help with this? Take yourself away, listen to a wee bit of music. Another thing is staying away from negative people. How many times in life have you got to a place where we feel as if somebody just sucks the life completely out of us? Take yourself a step away. We don't need that at the moment. What we need is you to be assertive, and what we need is that emotional well-being, that emotional balance to increase, to put you first in life and to get you where you need to be. We can't use lockdown as an excuse now because we've got all the tools on this page to help us. Please use them. Use that bit of energy that you've got. Honestly, it makes so much difference when you actually communicate with people. And again, this page has got so many people there that can help you. Try and get enough sleep. Go to bed at the same time at night. Even if you're not working, go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time. Make it a balance. Make it that you're going to bed, you're getting enough sleep, and you're getting back up again in the morning and you're starting that fresh day. A good thing is not to worry about the past as well. We can't change the past. We can't change what's happened in the past. We've all made mistakes in life. Oh, I've made hundreds of mistakes, absolutely hundreds of them, but I don't look at them as mistakes because I have taken a learning curve from them, and it's things that I choose then consciously not to do again. So they're not a mistake, it's a learning curve. So never be hard on yourself for what you've done in your past. Today's a new day, in a sense. Stop worrying about the future as well. Let's just take at the moment every day as it comes. But who knows what's going to happen in the future? Who knows? We've not, gosh, if I had a magic ball, I would be absolutely rolling in it. I can't predict people's futures. You can't predict your future. So live for the moment. Be active when you can. Get out in the fresh air. Go for a walk. Or even if it's just going out, sitting on a bench. If you're in a wheelchair, get somebody to take you out and just soak up that fresh air. Listen to the birds in the sky, look at the trees, look at what we've got all around us, and be appreciative for everything that we can see. People have these worry diaries that they write when they put all their worries in. I'm not a big fan of that or a big believer. I think you should have a gratitude diary instead, and you should note all the things down in that. You know, you get up in the morning, the sun's shining, be grateful for that. You've made the best cup of tea that you've made in weeks, be grateful for that. It can be simple wee things. Have a gratitude diary, put it down, and then you can have a wee look every day to what you've had. You know, push yourself every day. The next day, push yourself even further than what you had achieved the previous day, if that kind of makes sense. Eat healthily. Your serotonin sits in your gut, and that's your happy chemical, so feed it. Don't be, we've got all these takeaways now opened again, these McDonald's in Kentucky, and yeah, I've had one. I've not had a McDonald's yet, but I've had a Kentucky, but I wouldn't live on it. I've not actually missed them, to be fair. Be healthy with what you're eating, drink enough water, replenish those water levels, and eat healthily. Again, your serotonin, which is a happy chemical, sits in your gut, so feed it with the right food. Give yourself a pat in the back for those achievements that you make, even if it's the smallest wee thing. Give yourself a pat in the back for it. Have a wee change of scenery each day if you can as well. You know, if you go to a park one day, go somewhere else the next, and absorb that and take it all in. And again, there's another thing that you can write down in your gratitude diary. Conflict. Resolving conflict is a big thing as well. I was always told you should never leave somebody in a sort of bad sense. If you have done something wrong, apologise for it. Do not have that conflict hanging over your heads. Apologise. We all make mistakes in life. We all do things wrong in life. Be man enough to say, okay, that was my fault. Let's resolve it. I think I was always taught by my mum, you know, you never know what's going to happen to you, so you should never ever leave somebody on a bad vibe, in a sense. So resolve that, and again, take a move forward. And forgive yourself again for your mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're all human. Forgive yourself. Please forgive yourself. That's one of the biggest things that we can do. So all these steps, if we put them all together, can help and create that really good emotional well-being within ourselves. You know, again, if you're wanting to keep fit, the first thing you do is you exercise, you eat healthily, and you look after your body. Okay, this is a shell, but what about what's inside it? What about how we feel, how we think, how we see things? Why don't we increase that as well and look at it as a fitness regime in a sense and make that step forward? All right. So panic attacks. Who has ever had a panic attack? I've had them, and they're one of the worst things that I've ever went through in my life. You know, I've spent days after a panic attack just feeling actually done. I'm feeling as if I'd been run over by a truck. Everything ached. I had a sore head. I felt terrible. I looked terrible. They're really, really bad things. But one of the few facts about panic attacks is nobody's ever died with a panic attack or an anxiety attack. It's not just happens. You feel like it. You know, you feel as if, I think once when I had one that was really bad, I thought I was having a heart attack and I thought I was going to have to phone an ambulance. But nobody has ever died over a panic or an anxiety attack. Nobody. And it's perfectly normal and acceptable for you, for your health anxiety to increase, especially at this moment in time. And when you have a panic or an anxiety attack, your health anxiety does increase. That is a normal physical emotion, okay? In the environment that we're living in at the moment, it's difficult and we can't pull ourselves away from it. What we can do is we can change the way that we deal with it, okay? And the way that we deal with it and the way that we can change it can help with our physical and emotional well-being. Look at your thoughts, okay? You need to look at your thoughts and think, are they real? You know, yeah, they're real to you because you can hear them, but nobody else can. But you have to look at it and say, are they true? Are my thoughts and what they're telling me at the moment, are they true? Like when I was taking that panic attack, I thought I was taking a heart attack. But the truth of it was, I wasn't. And it wasn't going to harm me, even though I felt like it was going to harm me. It wasn't, because maybe about 70 to 80% of the time, your thoughts aren't real. Okay, another thing to help we before we jump into the panic attacks again is to look at trusting your gut. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. How many times have we went and done something and thought, I knew that wasn't going to work out, I knew that was going to happen, because your gut's telling you. Your gut is about 70% right all the time, so go by that gut feeling. Now, panic attacks again, they make you feel emotionally and physically drained. They're absolutely terrible, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. I don't know what it was like for you, and I don't know how many people can relate to that, but I think there'll probably be quite a few. It was just awful. Again, I felt as if I was being run over by a bus. My chest was so tight, my head throbbed, my stomach was churning, and I just wanted everybody to leave me alone because I didn't feel that anybody could relate to how I was feeling. So ways and methods to help panic and anxiety attacks. Now, panic and anxiety attacks are just a physicality of the emotional imbalance, and the more that you look at them, the more you feel them, and the more you feel them, the more you look at them. Then they can just come out of nowhere. How many times have you been sat and just all of a sudden this panic attack just hits you? You could be sitting watching television and the next thing, boom, it's there. You can be walking through a shopping mall, boom, it's there. There's no right or wrong reason for it. It just hits you and it just comes out of nowhere, and it's quite embarrassing, and the more you get embarrassed about it and the more you think people are looking at you, the more harder it gets. If you can feel a panic attack or anxiety attack coming on, and if you can, try and get yourself away to somewhere quiet. You know, if you're in that shopping mall, take yourself to a changing room, take yourself to a toilet. We think people are talking about us and think people can't help us, but you can help yourself. Now, two things can help a physical thing, and one of them is the breathing. Alright, if you feel that panic attack coming on, if you can feel that panic attack coming on, this is the point where you're going to attack it. You're going to stay that one step further. Now, I don't know about you, but when I had the first panic attack, I was told about a method called grounding. And it's like looking at so many things and keeping your focus on so many things, picking so many colours. I couldn't do that. I was too much panicking on the breathing, the chest getting tighter, thinking I was having a heart attack, that I could not physically pick all these things, which made it absolutely 100 times worse for me. So if you feel that panic attack coming on, one of the things that you can do is focus on that breathing. Okay, you take a breath in for 4. So when you're breathing in, you count inside your head 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1 and count it out again in your head, and then you breathe out and count out 4 again, and then you hold for 4. So it's like 4 fours in a sense. That's all you need to do. Have you ever seen people when they've had panic attacks and you've been given a brown paper bag, and that's to control that breathing, to take that, you know, racing heart down, to get the blood pressure going back to a certain normal rate? Do it in your head, do counting for 4. If you can feel that coming on, that is one of the ways that you can stop it, because it comes, panic and anxiety attacks come in a threefold. So you've got the incline, and that's when you get the funny feelings and the agitation and the chest getting tighter, and that's when you can hit that panic attack by focusing on that breathing. So it's 4 fours, okay? Another way you can do it is it's the first method of tapping, which it's called, and what we're going to do is you put, it doesn't matter if it's your left or right hand, but you put it here, you form a fist here in the middle of your chest, and then you get your forefinger and your middle finger of the other hand. Now obviously I can't do it, so I'm putting that hand there, but it works for me. If you don't have fingers and it's just a stump, use your stump, okay? If you don't have any hands here, this is when we can think out of the box. There's another meridian point up here, so you can just hit up here. But the way we're going to do it is, you're going to take your fist, well, I'll do it that way, that's my fist, and you're going to take your forefinger and your middle finger, and you're going to tap. And you're going to hit it here. Hit it, don't do it gently, but do it. Now, what you have to do when you're doing these things is believe in it, believe that you can make that change. You've got to give it every single thing you've got. If you go into it half-heartedly, that panic attack is going to take over, and it's not going to work for you. So just give it everything you've got. Remember, you have got everything to gain, but nothing to lose. Excuse me a wee second. sorry about that. You've got everything to gain but nothing to lose by doing these techniques. Give it every single thing you've got. Believe in it, believe in you. So you're going to take the fist, you're going to take your forefinger and middle finger, and you're going to tap, okay? And that's what's called, here is one of your main meridian points. We've got 9 of them that we use, but that's the main one. So you're going to tap, and you're going to absolutely scream into your head, stop, not today. And then you're going to go, not today, not today. And you're going to get louder and louder, all inside your own head, louder and louder. Really, really loud. Really give it everything you've got, because you want to stop that feeling, you want to stop that panic attack coming on. And you're going to do that for about 60 to 90 seconds. And then when you stop, you're going to look at where you are. And hopefully if you scale that panic attack, say at a 10 being the worst, we're going to scale you down to hopefully a 5 or a 4. If you've not got there, do it again. Give it everything you've got. Stop. Not today. Not today. Now, unfortunately, if a panic attack just hits you and you get that breathing and you don't feel it and you can't stop it at that incline, that's what's called then the take hold, and it's going to take over you. The only thing you can do is focus on your breathing, okay? And do the 4 fours that I told you. So you're going to breathe in for 4, and you're counting out the numbers in your head, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, and you're going to do breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. And you're going to try and regulate that heartbeat. Regulate the blood pressure. We need to get it back to a normal level. After it's called dissipation, it's when it leaves you and when it's gone, and that's when you feel done and you're completely gone by that point. If you have to go home wherever you are and you have to take a lie down, do it. Don't be hard on yourself. They're horrible things to get. Again, it's one of the worst feelings that I've ever had in my life, and I feel as if I'm quite a strong person, but the panic attacks just, they floored me. They absolutely floored me. I was done in for hours after it. I had to go, I had to lie down, my head was sore, my chest was sore, my stomach was churning. Do it, go lie down, give yourself a wee break, and then get up the next day and go again. Hopefully this helps with the panic attacks. Again, you need to give it everything you've got. Again, you need to believe that something that you're going to do is going to help you, and you need continuity with it. So if this happens and the panic attack comes and this doesn't work the first time, keep doing it. Every time that panic attack hits you, use these 2 methods and keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. And that's another thing that can help with your emotional well-being and can help with that resilience. And life challenges are hard, especially at the moment. Hopefully these techniques can help. Put them all together and try them again. You've got everything to gain with doing this and nothing to lose. So enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll join you again the following Wednesday.